Good morning, good day, everybody. Welcome to our course. This is the Assessor course. It is made up of two unit standards, 1157.55 and 1157.53. You are here in this training session because you've expressed interest in being part of outcomes-based education and training. You are on your road to become assessors, and that is quite something remarkable. What you need to understand is that as assessors, we are we assess according to the prescribed ways that we are guided to do that. So on your journey, you need to know what outcomes-based education is all about. You also need to know the NQF, which is our National Qualifications Framework principles. You would understand the structure of the NQF. You will actually be able to also see where your qualifications lie within that NQF framework. How can you go further? What is it that you can do according to your interests? Now, as assessors, we cannot just say all this without even referring to the evidence that we need to be able to get from our learners. Now, we will also in this course look at how we can actually have our evidence, how we can collect our evidence, and the different types of evidence that we can actually use together that evidence. We will in this course talk about the direct evidence, indirect evidence, historical evidence too. You will like it, trust me. Assessment and being an assessor is all about the passion in you. What is it that you want to do that will make a difference to other people? What is it that you would want to, have an impact, a positive impact on? Most learners would actually learn better if they knew that there are people like you and me that care about them. So hence this road that you have decided to take. Now, when it comes to assessment, we do have what you call unit standards. You will get to know what unit standards are. You will also get to know what assessment is all about, how you can assess. You will also be able to know about the principles of assessment. We just don't assess, we have to fall within certain principles so that we are guided in what we do, and so that our work that we do is fair and conducted in a manageable way. So those are some of the principles that we will discuss during the next session. We will also look at your role as an assessor. This is quite an important role in in the educational space. What is the role of you as an assessor? What are you expected to do? So these are the things also that we are going to look at and unpack it further. We'll look at the unit standards further that we are going to use in this course. And I think at this point you need to take a break, a bit of a break, and say to yourself, why are you in this course? Just try and think, what made you come to this course? What difference you would want to make in people's lives? What difference would this make in your life as a person as well? So we will look at all that. In our next chapters, we are going to be going through the different things that an assessor needs to adhere to. We will also we'll look at how we prepare for assessment. What are the ins and the outs? What is it that we need to know? How do I start assessing? What is it that I need to have known in advance? So those are the things that we are going to look at. We are also going to look at the design of assessment activities. Remember, this is a course that has two unit standards, 1157.53 and 1157.55. These two unit standards together make about 25 credits. So in this course, you will get 25 credits if you get it right. However, what we need to emphasize is that it's going to be such a lovely time going through this. You'll be able to see how you can start to design your own assessment activities. You will also look at what makes good assessments. How do you make sure that indeed I'm really assessing what I want to assess? So those are the things that we look at. We look at the design concept of the assessment activities. Then we will look at conducting assessment. How do we conduct an assessment? There is a particular way that us assessors need to adhere to. How do you make sure that you put someone at ease? How do you make sure that you really are conducting the assessment the right way? What are the instruments that you need to make sure that they are really reliable instruments, for instance? So those are the things that in our planning we've got to make sure we understand. Who are we assessing? What are we assessing? Am I a constituency registered assessor or not? Because we cannot just assess anything willy-nilly. It doesn't work that way. You need to make sure that you look at your subject matter expert. You look at what you are registered as an assessor to do. That way, it makes it easy for you to then say, okay, I am so and so. I'm registered as a constituent assessor in this space. I can therefore assess in a specific area. I want you to take note of that, because as we get our assessor statement of results and certificate, our immediate stop would be the sitters. Let's go and register as assessors in the different sitters according to our areas of expertise. Now, an assessor needs to then conduct assessment, like I've said, but you need to have to know what is it that you've got to do. Like we've just spoken about that. You will do that assessment, you do that planning, you prepare. Now you get to your learner in a specific way so that the process is done very well. We will discuss all that. And then we will then have to judge that evidence that they provided us. Remember, they've given us an evidence, and what we need to do is to say, okay, how do I judge that evidence? Guys, this is where the importance of being an assessor comes through. What evidence do you have that you can say, indeed, so and so is able to do 1, 2, 3? You cannot thumbsuck. You've got to make sure that you have a criteria that you knew about before you planned or before you even started your, the conducting assessment. That evidence and the criteria will then say to you, is this person competent or not competent? That is what our work is all about. It is intense, yes, but it is actually very thorough. We've got to do it in a thorough way. We have to back ourselves with evidence to say, yes, indeed, I have done that. Then we need to provide feedback to our candidates. We call them candidates now when they have started, in this process. Now, how do you conduct feedback for your candidate? Firstly, guys, you know that our people have had a different, circumstances when as far as education is concerned. Some have had worst experiences. Our duty as assessors is to make sure that let's put the people at ease. Make sure when we go through the process, we're putting them at ease. We saying to them, it can be done. This is how we are going to assist you to make sure you do it. We are going to put them at ease, make sure that the best out of them comes out. So in our feedback, we always, there's something that you call a hamburger approach or a sandwich approach, whichever way you want to call it. Remember, a sandwich has a top part and the middle part and the bottom part. So this is how our evidence is going to be. Our evidence will start with good, when you are saying to your learner, you did well in this, and then you come to the not so good when you're telling them that, okay, I want you to improve 1, 2, 3, and then you finish with the good. This is just to make sure that we are able to make our learners go forward. Give that negative information, yes, but do it in such a way that you encourage me to go on with my journey. I can imagine if I'm a learner and then you tell me how bad I would have performed and without really preparing me in a nice way, how would I feel? So those are the things that we assessors need to look at and say, what is our core business? Our core business is to take people forward. We need to move our learners forward. We need to make sure that they understand where they're going. We need to understand their aspiration so that we are able to give them immediate and impactful feedback. Having done that, our last part is to review our assessment. We take ourselves that we are people, and any session presents an opportunity to be able to do your own self-analysis and say, okay, what is it that I've done? How well have I done this? How badly? What is it that I can improve for the future? It is always good to do that. Every person that knows their strengths would always go back and say, what is it that I should do better? So hence us as assessors, we then go back and look at the whole process and say, I needed to have done 1, 2, 3. Did I do the right thing? Why didn't I do the right thing? When I met Elena so and so, I found that I could not stick to my plan. So these are the things that we are noting, and then we will then review accordingly to say, did my assessment process go well or it did not? What can I do to improve? I wish you all the best in this journey. We're going to enjoy what we're doing. We will love what we do. I love what I do. I've been doing it for the longest time I can remember. It's been more than 25 years and I'm still loving the education space. It is a space that you can contribute, and I wish you all the best in your journey. We're going to meet now in a short while again when you go on to the next session. Now we're going to be starting to unpack all the things I spoke about so that we can say, yes, I am an assessor. I am, quite competent. I can do anything when I leave this course. So together we'll make it.